Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. Today we're going to be decorating the mantle for Christmas, and this was such a fun video to make. I just love to decorate this space and make it all nice and cozy for the holidays. So let's get right into the video. So I got this beautiful garland from Canadian Tire last year, and I really liked this one because it is flocked, and the tree that I'm going to be putting in this room is flocked as well, so I thought that they go really well together, and I think this one was $39.99. I remembered from last year that it did seem to look a lot fuller, but then again, when you pull something out of storage, it can look quite flat and small, but we are going to add a lot of decor pieces to this and picks and ribbons, so this is going to look really full once we're finished with it. But just to start with, it did look kind of sparse, and the lights weren't that bright, even though I did just change the batteries on them. I find with these garlands that the lights they come with just aren't very bright, and once you start layering picks and ribbon on top of it, you almost lose the lights. So at the very end, we're going to go in with some twinkle lights just to brighten this whole garland up. So the ribbon that I'm going to be using on this garland is from Michael's, and I got it last year. And what I really like to do is when I'm using ribbons is to layer two together. So I have a beautiful white snowflake one, and then I just have a silver mesh one. So they complement each other really well. And when I am laying the ribbon, I like to alternate between the sides. So I'll start with the white ribbon and then I'll move to the silver one. So I just kind of crisscross it back and forth. And this just gives a really pretty effect and just makes everything look nice and even. So this was already pre-cut because like I said, I did have this from last year and I used this on the mantle last year. So I didn't have to cut it again. Although it can be tricky because you kind of have to use the same spacing you did the previous year. But luckily it did end up working out. But I was a little bit nervous thinking I hope I have enough ribbon and I hope I'm kind of using the same measurements that I did last year. But it did end up working out, which was great. I think this was the most time-consuming part of working on this garland was just putting the ribbon on it. Just because I feel like this does add so much to it, I wanted to make sure that I was placing it right. And I tried to have the ribbon facing the front and not toward the back as much because I really wanted it to be the center of attention. And I just really think ribbon adds so much to garland. And it's hard to tell from this shot, but the ribbon is quite sparkly. On the white ribbon, there's just beautiful snowflakes. And like I said, the other ribbon is just a silver mesh. And I believe I got them 2 for $20 last year. Michael's always has sales on everything, it seems like, but especially ribbons. And even at the beginning of the season, I know I've already been to Michael's a few times this year. They've already had everything at 40% off. So it's a good place to go and find ribbon just because they do have such a great selection. And there's just pretty much every ribbon you could ever want there. I would love to know in the comments if you guys have a mantle that you decorate for Christmas every year. Luckily, when we did buy this house, this fireplace was a free upgrade with the house. And I'm so glad we went with this. We got to choose from a few different upgrades. It was just a promotion. And my dad had convinced us that we should do the fireplace. And I'm so glad we did because I just feel like it adds so much to the space. And it's just such a nice cozy feeling to be able to sit in here at night and really enjoy this fireplace. These beautiful sparkly picks are also from Michael's. I got these last year on major discount. I never spend full price, so I got quite a few of these, and I thought they would be really pretty. I was going for a winter wonderland look in this room, and I really wanted it to be nice and white, so I thought if I added quite a few of these white picks, it would just hide some of that greenery and just give it a softer wintry look. So I'm just tucking this into the garland, and I'm going to alternate which way I go. Once I get to the middle, I'll switch the picks going to the right side. So I also loved how they cascaded down, and it almost gives that wintry look of icicles hanging in the winter. So I thought it was really pretty, and I've never used as many as I did this year. So I did end up having to reinforce this garland with some more 3M hooks because I knew it was going to get quite heavy with all the picks, and I am going to add even more to this garland. So I thought I better just enforce it with more, because one year I actually didn't use enough 3M hooks and I heard a loud bang in the middle of the night, and it was actually the garland on the floor. So I don't want to make that mistake again. So I just added quite a few more, and hopefully everything holds this year. I'm going to go in with this, it's like a beaded garland, and this was from Cozines last year, just a local nursery, and it was $19.99, and it has crystals and pearls just lying down the garland, and I just really like this just to add some texture to this garland, and I just kind of like to lay it over the top, and then when the light hits it, the crystals just look really beautiful. I wanted to add a little bit more silver into this, so I had these silver stems, and I thought they were beautiful. They just have little balls on them, and again, they do add that nice sparkle, and I also just like the texture and the height that they give to the garland. And as you can see already, just by adding some picks, it's really elevated the look of the garland and made it look a lot fuller and just richer. So you can start with quite a small garland and just really build on it. So don't always worry if your garland is looking sparse at the beginning, because you can make it look really full. I'm going to go in now with this beautiful garland. I got this from Winners last year, and I just thought it was so beautiful with the pom-poms. So I just used the branches from the garland to secure it. And then I just, in the middle, I just kind of brought the garland up. So I just like that drapey effect that it gives off. And then I'm going to go in with mine and my husband's stockings. Holstein has his own little spot for his stocking. But I've had these stockings probably for 5 years or more. And then I just thought it would be really pretty to add a personalized touch. So I found the letters C and R for our names, and I'm just going to hang them by our stockings. And I think it just adds that nice personal touch to the stockings for Christmas. So I really like how this turned out. These snowy pine cones I thought would look really beautiful in this garland also, just to add more of that white and just wintry feel to this space. So I'm just tucking these into the garland also, and these did have a little bit more weight to them, so I was trying to kind of center it toward the back of the garland just so there wasn't quite as much weight toward the front of it, which could pull it down. So I'm just going to go in with these beautiful poinsettias now, and I believe these were from Dollarama or Dollar Tree many years ago, but I just think they add that perfect glam feel to this space, and I know they were really inexpensive. They might have been $1 each, which is hard to believe because at Canadian Tire, I've seen some similar ones and they were around $7.99 or $8.99 each. So these are also quite large and they look so elegant in person. So they were easy to add. They had little clips on the back. So I just added, I think I added about 4 or 5 to this garland. And then I have a little tip for you. I actually learned this from Liz at Traditions at the Seasons. She has a wonderful channel. And she just said to pull off the tops of your balls, and then you can just attach them right into the stem of your garland. So it just makes them stand up so nice, and you don't have a hook that you have to see. So I love this tip, and I'm so happy that she shared it on her channel. So I've been using it ever since, and I think she shared that a few years ago, but it's a great tip. I encourage you guys to try it, especially for garlands. It just makes it so much easier when you're just adding some balls to it. This beautiful lantern, I always have it sitting on the fireplace mantle, so I just brought that back, and I just like the height that it adds. And then I'm just going to add a candle holder and a candle to it. And that bluey color, teal I would say more so, is a color that I use in my decor year round. So I just wanted to incorporate a few pieces with that color, like this vase that I'm adding from HomeSense. And then I thought it would be really pretty just to add a bit of a rustic touch just by adding these snowy branches to that vase. I wanted to add something to the back of the mantle, so I just added this box, and I have this beautiful glittery tree that was from Winners, and then I'm also just adding some cone trees around that, so I think it just adds that nice sparkle, and I just wanted a little bit more height toward the back of the mantle. Like I said at the beginning of the video, once you add all your layers on your garland, it is really hard to see the lights. I couldn't even really see them at all, to be honest. So I thought I needed to add some kind of a light factor to this. So I'm just going in with my Twinkle Lights from Costco. And I've talked about these in many videos, but you can find them every year around Christmas at Costco. And I believe they come in a 4 or a 6 pack. And they're around $3 once you kind of figure out the price for that many in a pack. So it's a really good price. They do run on batteries, so you have to change them quite often depending on how long you have the lights lit up for. But I think they just add such a warm and cozy glow to this garland, and I just needed one strand to cover that whole garland. So this is how everything turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making it. And this week I'm going to be decorating the shelves around the mantle, and we're going to tie everything in together. So it's going to look really elegant once the shelves are all decorated with the Christmas decor. So I hope you come back for part 2. I'm going to film that, I think, tomorrow. So I should have it out by Wednesday. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. Take care. God bless, friends.